From Concerto Palatino, Giovanni Picchi's Canzone Decima Quinta a 6 for 2 cornets and 4 sackbuts. I love saying sackbuts. Andrew. And we are welcoming our very special guest, the curator at the Winnipeg Art Gallery for the Chagall in Winnipeg and Esther Workhoff exhibits, Andrew Kear. Welcome so much to Classic 107. This is your first time here.
It is, and I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
You know, it's been really, really great having this wonderful partnership with the Winnipeg Art Gallery here at Classic 107. We have tons of crossover of interest for sure, especially with the upcoming Impressionist Festival in October with the WSO. So much great music programmed. Now, I was at the opening for the Chagall exhibits and the Workhoff exhibit.
Yep.
And I know that the Chagall exhibit is through the National Gallery of Canada, and it's kind of on tour. Can you kind of tell us how the show as a whole kind of shaped up from that germ?
Sure. Well, the Winnipeg Art Gallery has had the good fortune of working in partnership with the National Gallery of Canada since about 2013, I believe. So we get to bring in some amazing exhibitions that we wouldn't otherwise be able to launch here. And Chagall has not been shown very much in Winnipeg, and we thought a great opportunity to show this really important body of lithographs. They're a certain kind of print that Chagall undertook in the late 50s and early 60s. Chagall is mostly known as a painter, but he was devoted to printmaking as well, and this is really, the Daphins Chloé series is really recognized as his kind of masterpiece in terms of his prints. So we got these 42 lithographs in. It's rare because while other institutions have examples of the Daphins Chloé suite, no other institution in Canada has the complete 42 set, so it's very rare in that sense. And it was exciting just to learn more about this artist. Now, what I like to do, because my specialty is Canadian art, I like to see if I can find a kind of connection to Canada or Winnipeg, if possible. And it works out more often than you'd think, especially to Winnipeg. It's sort of all roads lead here. It's surprising.
It's the forks.
Yeah, exactly. There's some kind of vortex.
Yeah,
but
right?
Anyway, the discovery I made was that a former director of the Winnipeg Art Gallery, Dr. Ferdinand Eckhart, who came here from Austria, had known Chagall and had actually visited Chagall in France. And it's a kind of circuitous story. I can certainly try to do the broad version because it's very interesting. But basically Eckhart's wife, Sophie Carmen Eckhart-Gramete, who the musical community will know.
Absolutely.
Knew Valentin Brodsky. And Valentina Brodsky was a part of the whole scene in Berlin in the 1930s and 20s, artistic scene. Yeah. And she fell out of sort of contact with Brodsky, and she introduced Eckhart to Brodsky too, but they fell out during the Second World War. The Eckharts came to Winnipeg, and it was Brodsky, of course, stayed in Europe. It was one evening in the early 1950s, mid-1950s, Eckhart and Sophie Carmen were out at a musical performance given by 2 Quebec composers or musicians. I'm not sure who they were, but at the after party they overheard these 2 Quebec composers talking about Vava this and Vava that, and Vava had been the name that Valentina Brodsky had gone by in Berlin, and so they inquired, and yes, it was true that this was the same person. They knew her, and they had her contact information. So Ferdinand Eckhart and Sophie Carmen mailed a letter to Vava reintroducing themselves, and she said, "Yes, it's wonderful to hear from you." She wrote back immediately, and by the way, I'm married to Marc Chagall.
No way!
So, of course, Eckhart, he was an art historian. He was very much up to date on contemporary modern European art.
Of course.
But he had never known Chagall directly. But basically, Vava said, come to France, the south of France, Nice, just outside of Nice, and hang out with us over the summer of 1958, I believe, 59.
Wow.
And so Eckhart and Sophie Carmen spent the summer in southern France with, and the discovery was that there's always wonder, not only is there a portrait of Vava in our collection that was given to us by, Ferdinand Eckhart. But we discovered through the Eckhart-Gramete Foundation that there are wonderful photographs, candid photographs of Ferdinand Eckhart, Sophie Carmen, Vava, and Chagall all hanging out in a garden in south of France.
Which we happen to have up on our website right now. Yeah. You can go to classic107.com and check out this article about Andrew's visit here to Classic 107. It's absolutely fascinating. Now, both of the Chagall exhibits, both Chagall, Daphins Chloé, and the Chagall in Winnipeg exhibits are running until September 11th.
That's
is that
right.
correct?
Yep.
And then we also have another great Winnipeg feature, Esther Workhoff, 60 to 70. Is that what's...
Yeah, featuring her, Esther Workhoff, a Winnipeg, but really has national exposure.
Right. Tell
artist.
us a little about Esther Workhoff and like her Winnipeg connection.
Sure. So Esther Workhoff was born and raised in the North End, comes from a very vibrant Jewish community there.
Mm-hmm.
And the works that we're featuring are large-scale paintings that she undertook in the 1960s through to the early 1980s. Yeah. After the 1980s, she sort of gave up painting and really her practice remains focused on drawing and sort of sculptural drawing.
Okay.
So we're really looking at a very localized period of production. But it was during this period that Esther Workhoff became a kind of national name. She had major shows in Montreal and actually in Europe and Toronto. So she was that's when she became recognized. And her work is spectacular. These sort of multi-panel paintings that very much draw on a range of things, sort of Jewish folk culture to art history to popular culture. There's a kind of strange mixture of folk art, surrealism, and pop art in her work.
Yeah.
And it's quite
the colors are fantastic. The lines are just so satisfying.
Yeah.
Just really easy to take a bite out of.
Yeah, and you know what? She's great too because you look at her paintings and you think, oh, she's trying to tell me some kind of story, some kind of narrative, and the longer you look at it, the more confused you get. It's wonderful in a wonderful way. Yeah,
that's a great way to say it. Absolutely. Yeah, I experienced that with her works. I am just inspired by the freedom and femininity in them, which is just incredible strength. I don't know. I have been more enlightened, I feel, by seeing them. I encourage all of our listeners to go. Again, the Esther Workhoff exhibit doesn't close until October, but October 16th. So you really don't have too much time left. You have 2 First Friday opportunities.
Yes.
This Friday and next Friday, the WAG is open for free, which is fantastic. But get there before the September 11th comes around, because really the Chagall is absolutely worth looking at. Yeah,
and if people want to check out a tour of Chagall, there's one happening this Saturday. It's free. The tour is free with admission.
That's excellent. And for more info on that, you can go to wag.ca. Andrew, are you guiding some of these tours?
I'm not guiding the
Saturday
weekend tour, no, but in the future I will be. I'm certainly involved in touring. Yes.
Well, excellent. Well, we'll look forward to that. Please visit wag.ca for more info on that, or go to our website, classic107.com. Learn more about Chagall, about his works, his prints, Daphins Chloé, that 42 lithograph collection, not to mention these brilliant connections to Winnipeg that he has with the Eckharts and Esther Workhoff's work. What a joy to have all of these works in our galleries and at arm's reach. Really, go see. Andrew, thank you so much for joining us here in the Diamond Lane. It has been such a pleasure to have you. I hope we get to see each other more, and that you guys get a ton of run in for these last moments of the exhibit. Looking forward to seeing what's next, too.
Thank you very much.
All right. We are going to go to a short break and then come back with more great music after this.